Yo, what's going guys? It's your boy Levitius back with a brand new video. It's round 3 of the Exhibition Manufacturers Cup series at the Nordschleife 24-hour layout. This will be my first ever commentary over a race, which I'm very excited to share with you all today. I have to start somewhere, and if you do enjoy this style of video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here to never miss out on another piece of content. And if you want to catch me live, I stream most nights on Twitch from 3 to 6 p.m. GMT. The link will be in the description. Take care everyone, and let me know what you think down below in the comments, and enjoy the video. Peace. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. 10 laps around the Nordschleife.
Okay,
As you see, there is yellow and pink rain in the radar. Pretty good start by us. And as you can see as well, there's two drivers
two people on softs.
on slick tires. Very smart. But yeah, we cautiously brake into turn 1, just trying to make it without hitting anyone. Yeah, it's very Mickey Mouse. We're driving at under 50 kilometers an hour on the apex there. But yeah, as you can see, full wet conditions. This is going to be one roller coaster of a race. And as we fast forward just past the Schumacher S going into the next braking zone, we outbrake ourselves and almost go into the back of Mario Sonic up ahead.
Oh, it's you got a little tap behind me.
Is not ideal, but we just survived with the Renault behind us also coming into the back of us almost. But as you can see, it's extremely
moves now, Liam. Come on.
low grip, and it's very important to make some opportunistic moves all the time. So yeah, we just want to make sure we can maybe make a few moves before we reach the Nordschleife loop, which is just ahead after the chicane. And it's very important just to pay attention to the little puddles on the track, because you could lose it at any moment if you hit a puddle at the wrong angle while accelerating and turning. As we almost lose control of the car. And as we fast forward now, going into further into the Nordschleife, we outbrake ourselves, hit the BMW. An error makes an absolutely sensational move. I wasn't happy at the time, but looking back at it, it was sensational. Can't fault him at that at all. And as you can see, as he comes out of this X of the corner, he almost loses it. So honestly, we're on a knife edge right now. Everyone's just looking to survive, and it's absolutely so much fun just to drive the cars in the wet, as you just have to make sure you leave a margin for error, which is always a great experience. And as we get a run on error going into the fast right-hander, this is not a smart move probably in these conditions. We almost go off, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, and that could have been a lot worse. And as we fast forward further on, we get past error later on after he makes a little bit of a mistake with a tank slapper out of that hairpin, which is pretty good so far. We're just holding our own. We're at P11. We had a terrible qualifying, by the way. We qualified P13. And yeah, we just didn't have any practice before this race. We had about, I think, 2 laps overall practice, and we didn't even practice in the wet. So we're going into this very blind. And as we go down the hill, as I said, it's very difficult to make a move. But if someone makes a mistake like that, anything is possible.
Be patient. That's all you do. Be patient.
Exactly. Just be patient. That's all that matters, you know. That's all that matters. And as we move on further, we're going to have a very opportunistic move coming right up, going into the left-hander here. Aero absolutely sends it, which is absolutely insane by him. It seems like the Renault is really quick in these conditions with that MR layout of the car, but that doesn't mean that we can also go on the offense right now. And we're looking for a move going down to the left-hand. We commit to it, and Mario Sonic gives us the space. Credit to him. He didn't really need to do that. We weren't alongside him going into the turning phase of the corner. And it's up to P9 so far, so it's just looking good. As you can see, Bino goes past Kai going into this fast left-hander. It's a very sketchy corner there because it's not flat out in these conditions. And as you can see, we're braking so early not to go into the back of anyone, just to try to survive at the moment. And as we fast forward now going into this fast left-hander, Kai is going to make a little mistake as we go alongside him with arrows straight behind us, so it's absolutely nip and tuck right now. And we almost lose the rear as arrow hits us, and we hit Kai. It was absolutely insane. That was a very scary moment in these conditions with heavy damage.
It's scaring me because I just feel like he's gonna hit me.
Yeah, the arrow is so much faster than me at this moment. He was just looking for a move to get past me, and very interesting. I trusted my community.
I trust you.
Going around the outside here, they said there was more grip here, but in practice it seemed like it did not work out, so we did lose a position to error, and I will not do that blind. Yeah, exactly. So the line did not work at all, and it just
There's not enough grip, Elsie.
have enough grip. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, there just didn't work out. Just didn't work out. But as we fast forward later on, there's gonna be another driver off the track in the name of Triple, which we'll mention later for another interesting event. And now we're up at P8, which is pretty good for our first lap. We started in P13, so we're up 5 positions, which is great. And as we drive off the track there in the dirty air of the Audi, we almost go completely off and aquaplane into the barriers, which is not ideal, but we have now dirty tires, which is going to help Trooper get past us, which he does do a little push to pass, but it's fine, it's acceptable. And now we're down back to P9, which is okay. Like, honestly, we've had a great first lap, and the lead is only around about 9 seconds away. So it's pretty decent, considering all factors. Insanity's just driving off into the distance. It seems like
He's
this is a
braking
pack
so early.
from 2nd to 9th right now. And we almost go into the back of the Audi once again. Yeah, honestly, locking up your front tires is so easy in these conditions that you just have to make sure you leave a little bit of margin for error because everyone else is in the same boat as you. But a decent first lap. Someone went into the pits there, so we had gained 5 positions in the matter of 1 lap, which is pretty decent. As you can see, Tripo's going for a move on the Audi into turn 1. Very risky move, and they do make a little bit of contact, but it seems like they're making it through nice and safe. And we do a nice little undercut on the Toyota Supra, and now we're back up to P7, which is amazing, considering that, honestly, looking back at last lap, he goes to the back of us, never mind. My reaction was priceless, honestly.
Dude,
but yeah, he can't stop hitting me.
He's braking a little too
Dude,
much,
the driving
bro.
standards
A little
is
too late,
phenomenal,
bro.
honestly. But
Calm down.
yeah,
It's a
calm down, bro.
An hour-long race. Calm down. Calm down.
But as we go down into the hairpin at the furthest south point of the track, he's gonna go for an audacious dive bomb.
This dude's crazy.
Justifiably crazy. What is he doing in these conditions? He's driving as if he's in the dry, you know?
Can you not see that it's full width?
My reaction is priceless, honestly. But yeah, as we move on now into the Nordschleife loop, we almost lost it on that left-hander, and we come into this corner. Poor Binu lost it in the BRZ, which is an absolutely horrible car in these conditions, by the way.
Just work with me, please, bro.
Has no mechanical grip
So
and a bit of turbo delay.
you can see me better.
Yeah, let's put our hands on so that Trooper can actually see us and not go into the back of us. And as you can see, also the driver up ahead in the other BRZ, he almost lost it as well. So yeah, that car doesn't look like it's quite well fit for these conditions, even though it's an absolute monster in the dry.
Okay.
Just reminding him that he actually can see me. And as we go to this fast left-hander at the end of the sector 2, we go for a move on the other BRZ.
You're moving under braking.
And he does do a little naughty move in the braking zone, but it's actually not too bad. I think he was just going wide there because he had no grip.
Moving under braking.
And we lose another position to Tripo again, back down to P7. But it's alright, as we're still in the pack. The only person that's broken away is Insanity in P1. I wasn't really in a good mood, as you can see in this moment right now, because Tripo has almost taken us out like 4 times.
Crash. There we go.
And as I said, someone's gonna crash. The Audi went completely wide, and he does squeeze us off, which is a little naughty, I'm a little annoyed at this moment. And we did make it through, but a little frustrating because I feel like we got more pace than all these drivers up ahead.
Tactics that's gonna be played right here.
Yeah, I was not that happy after this. And as we move further on into the lap, you can hear the rain has got extremely loud, and something is going to happen that is very unpredictable in these conditions, where you can't even hear your car. The rain is louder than the car itself, so it becomes very much a sensory overload, and survival is all you care about in this moment. And that is going to be a key factor going into the carousel just further on now, as we go for a very opportunistic move going into this hairpin here, where Tripo goes onto the curb, which is not a good idea in these conditions because the curb is very slippery, and we get a lovely move down around the outside. And as we go into the carousel, we're unfortunately going to lock up the front brakes and go into the back of the Audi, and they get hit by the Supra behind us.
Never mind.
This was not intentional. It's just
I got hit.
It was honestly not ideal. I made a mistake and I deserved the penalty. But I did get also rear-ended by the driver behind us, the cheapo driver again, where I think he just doesn't pay attention to the braking markers, but it's all good. We are still in the race, which is all that matters. And then as you can see in the background, Poor Kai, a friend of mine from streams, has gone off, and we serve our penalty now. 3-second penalty is probably more like an 8-9-second penalty with all the time we lose. Yeah, we go all the way back down to P11, which is not ideal considering we just lost all the positions we gained over the first 2 laps. But that's racing for you, know. And we served our penalty. Now we move on from that incident. So yeah, now we're on the GP loop for the 3rd lap, and Luna goes a little wide onto the wet curb, and we're on the drier line. And an absolutely lovely move done on Luna. And going down to the hairpin, you can see how early we still have to brake, considering that it is dried up quite a considerable amount. And later onto the GP loop, we almost lose it again like Binu. And we go for a very opportunistic move into the chicane, which is just before Nordschleife loop. And I cannot emphasize this enough that you really need to make all your moves down in the Nurburgring GP loop, as it's almost impossible to make a move in the Nordschleife unless someone makes a mistake ahead of you, because there's only one very fast line and the rest of the lines are quite slippery with all the pedals offline. And as you can see, we almost lose the rear again following Kai. And as we fast forward a little bit further on, we're going to contradict ourselves a lot, because we're going to absolutely make a sensational run through this fast right-hander where everyone else goes wide, and we're going to get past not just 1, not just 2, but 3 cars because of that mistake by all 3 of them. And honestly, it's one of my best moves of the entire year. Making 3 moves there,
What a move.
especially in these conditions. I was quite shocked, as you could hear. And we're back up to P5, which is absolutely sensational considering we
let's take it now and run.
we lost all those positions. Like I said, yeah, let's take up all this clean air and let's run away now. And as we move on further into lap, we close up to P3 and P4. And as you can see, the BRZ makes a huge mistake going into that fast right-hander. And we have a perfect run on this driver now, but there's no way to go. As you can see, it's almost impossible to make a move here because the track is only probably wide enough for 2 cars at most. And we keep trying to follow him behind as he goes for a very unusual inside line there, and he just hits the wall and goes wide. So we're up to P4, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to be trailing Iceman for almost this entire lap here, which is very difficult to get past McLaren, which is very good in the entry of the corners. And as you can see, the error driver in the Renault who made a pit stop onto Inters has really gone past us. So that must have been a very, very inspired decision, because he was on wets initially, I remember, and now he's on Inters, and it seems like he is ready to absolutely run away from us.
Cars in the rain, so I'm not surprised.
And it is one of the fastest cars in the rain, but that's only one part of the factor. The driver also has to like back it up, you know. But we're just gonna trail the drivers up ahead, and we're gonna fast forward onto lap 4 now, as we go for a move for Iceman, but we lose the rear going to turn 1. We actually lock up the rears, and we almost go to the back of the Renault.
Just saved it.
Almost a huge accident, but we made it just into turn 1 and turn 2 without hitting anyone, which is all that matters. You know, mistakes do happen. But Luna's just behind us.
I didn't hit anyone at least.
As I said, I'm happy I didn't hit anyone, but as we go down into the GP loop now, Kai makes a huge mistake up ahead. As you can see, emphasizing staying on the drive line where everyone's driving over is very important, or you'll lose an extreme amount of time with all the standing water offline. As we go down to the hairpin again, we're just going to go and brake at our normal marker, go a little wide, but we stay on the drier line. And as you can see, Kai just doesn't get a good run. It just emphasizes the fact that using the wet line is horrible for traction. And now we go back up to P5 into the Schumacher S's, which is looking pretty good considering that we've lost so many positions from all our mistakes, but not bad. And as we move further onto the lap, nothing really happened, and we're now behind the other BMW in the race, in the Italian of Lolo Fantic. And we get absolutely hit by Kai behind, and we
oh my word,
just make it. And we didn't even get any damage from that, which is absolutely insane.
Code Brown moment.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Code Brown. And I'm happy I survived there, because any wider, we would have been off into the barriers. And
you get caution pit exit. Okay.
We're going to make a pit stop now at the end of lap 4. As you can see, there's a decent dry line formed. And it's going to be very scary coming out of the pits. We put on TC5 and we're going to put on slicks, but...
Samir, you're breaking the car! Samir!
Yeah, Samir, why are you breaking the car? But yeah, the pit exit
let's go.
is going to be extremely wet. And you're going to see now how tricky it's going to be to actually make this. So we're going to be very cautious on the exit here. As you can see, offline, it's still pretty wet. So, yeah, let's see what happens here now.
You're breaking the car.
So far
Okay,
into the race, it's been pretty good.
Let's go.
Yeah, as I said, nice and careful, nice and smooth. And as we exit the pits here, you're going to see how extremely cautious you have to be with slicks on wet track. We extremely short shift, up to 5th gear actually, and we almost follow the dry line onto the pit line, which would have given us a 3-second penalty, but we just make it. As you can see, it's so slippery offline, so you have to be so careful not to touch it. And we do a very good job of just maintaining our momentum, and we are ready to tackle the track now. As we fast forward all the way onto the middle of the Nordschleife loop, well, nothing really happened. We caught up to this intermediate runner in the Porsche that didn't change tires, which I feel like it was the wrong decision. Even though it's safe, it's not a good decision. And this is hurting our race now. As you can see the delta behind us, Kai is catching us at a considerable rate now because we're stuck behind someone who's much slower in the corners on wet tires on a drier track now. And at this moment, I'm trying to look for a move, but it's very difficult when there's only one dry line and the curbs are very wet. So he could still use the curbs, but I can't even touch them. But I'm going to go for a very audacious move into this right-hander right here. We are just on the wet part of the track, but we didn't touch enough of it to lose the
I had
rear.
to do that really quickly.
Which was almost race crucial right there because they would have caught us. The group behind us would have caught us going into the long Dartiner straight. And it's looking pretty good for us. We're in P5 right now. There's a few drivers up ahead who still need to pit onto the dry tires. And at the moment, it looks like we're in a net P4 or P3 position, with Insanity absolutely just driving up ahead. But as you can see up ahead, Aero was like 7 seconds ahead of us at one point, just before that section of corners. But he lost 7 seconds right there with a big mistake. I could not find the replay of his mistake, but he absolutely lost a chunk of time right there, which gives us an opportunity now to slipstream him down this very long straight. As you can see, we're closing in on Aero very quickly because that Renault isn't the quickest on the straights, and our BMW is not too bad. So as you can see, we're closing in on him, and we're going to make this move very nicely. And now we're up to P4, ladies and gentlemen, with Insanity pitting on from the intermediate. So he did an extra lap of the inters, which is very interesting. But there's also something else I'm also going to notice just a little further on right now, is that the Audi is one of the worst cars on tire wear. And usually speaking, if you're in this race with an FR, typical FR car, you'll use a softer compound because the tires will last pretty long. But as you can see right there, Insanity went onto the racing hards.
Hards?
And as my reaction
what is he doing? Why
justified.
Is
The hard tires are very slow, but with the Audi, it'll probably only make the soft tires last maybe 2 laps, and then on the 3rd lap the tires will die. So for him, he has to use those tires because it's the only tire that will actually work for the rest of the race, and his car is very good on fuel, so that's what he needs to do. He's going to be slow, but he's going to make it to the end, while we have to do another pit stop. And this just creates a very interesting dynamic in the race where we're always hunting him down, but we always have to make more pit stops. And as we go down to the hairpin now into the GP loop, we're going to go slightly onto the wet part of the track. As you can see, one little mistake, and we lose all that time, and Eric gets past us into P2. And yeah, nothing really happened throughout that whole lap.
Fuel.
And we deduce that he is saving fuel because he's so much slower on the straights, but we can't get past him. There's only one dry line, so we're stuck behind Aero again. And we're going to try for a little opportunistic move now, going into this fast left-hander at the end of this flat-out section, and just sneak through on the wet curb, and we're back up to P2 now, and we'll be there for the next half lap or so until we go and pit for our last pit stop in the race onto another set of soft tires and refuel for another 4 laps. As you can see, our pace is actually pretty good. We're catching the leader, and we caught him by about 10 seconds that lap.
Box, let's go.
It's been a good race so far.
This is so tiring, man.
And we're 55 minutes into the race, and it's still 4 more laps to go. And honestly, PD is doing a great job with these combos. I really enjoyed them, and I cannot fault them.
I'm almost certain everyone has to pit again. So
I was actually wrong when I said this. Insanity's not going to pit anymore. His car is amazing on fuel, and yeah, as we exit the pits, as you can see, it's still quite wet. Not as wet as it was before. I was still cautious just in case anything happened. But luckily, no one was coming into turn 1 when we rejoined the dry line, or it would have been a bit messy. But yeah, we did a pretty good job on that pit exit. But I also want to show you now that even if the track is relatively dry now, there's still a lot of wet patches in the track. And as we go into this fast left on the GP loop, we're going to just carry a little too much speed. And we cross the wet part of the track, and we almost aquaplane off the track. And honestly, this is what I love about Gran Turismo 7's weather system. Is absolutely sensational.
We'll undercut all of them if they pit right now. I don't think Era's going to pit though. He's going to have dead tires though. So
yeah, as I said, the Era has terrible tire wear in that Renault, just like the Audi in P1. And the Audi in P1, on the hard tires, the hard tires will last 5 laps, but it's generally going to be 10 to 15 seconds a lap slower. But I think that will make up
should be on 60% fuel
enough time, because the thing is, a pit stop is about 35-40 seconds loss
overall. I know they won't stop again, but they're going to be really slow, you know?
As I said, yeah, he's going to be really slow. Insanity. I realize now that Insanity is not going to pit anymore, so it's all about a flat-out push to catch up to the leader now. And as we can see now, Kai and everyone else is going to go pit for their last pit stop, which means they're going to have a small tire advantage of 1 lap on me, but it's not a huge amount. But everything looks pretty good so far, and it's panning out the way we would like it. And it's actually insane considering we started in P30 and we were fighting for the lead.
These are mediums?
Our pace was not the greatest in qualifying, but I cannot emphasize enough. You just need to stay in the race. You stay in the race, and the race can come to you. The less mistakes you make, the better, honestly. And as we now go down to turn 1, you can see Luna up ahead, and the other BMW is not doing a decent... He's doing a decent job, but he's losing quite a lot of time. It seems like they're on old tires right now, and they're doing a different alternate strategy.
This is good for us.
And later on the lap, we did catch Luna going into the next flat-out section just after this right-hander. And in this situation, I was like, oh no, we're going to be stuck behind Luna now for this entire time. But Luna does make a mistake going out of that turn, and we do have a great run on Luna. And now this situation is like, oh no, now we're going to be stuck behind Luna. I'm just going to have to like stay behind him. But he
Luna,
does...
You're an absolute legend. Thank you, Luna.
It does an absolutely goated move and lets us past. Honestly, that is an amazing sportsmanship, and I honestly, if he didn't do that, I don't think we could have actually had an opportunity to fight for this lead. And as we fast forward again onto the Dotiner, you can see the gap is only around about now 15 seconds, but Iceman has to pit still.
How's fuel looking?
And Insanity is the net race leader, and I'm in P2.
Yeah, we need to save some fuel here.
So at the moment, this is looking pretty good. Our fuel in this situation is okay. We can still save a lot of fuel.
Fuel saving.
As I said, yeah, it's not too bad. And I see Iceman pits now from softs, and driver behind also Luna pits again from mediums. That's why Luna was a little bit slower. He's on mediums. And as you can see, it's not ideal to be on the slower compounds in this situation because you just lose a lot of time. And as you can see also behind us, Tripo, the same driver we had an issue with later, early in the race, pardon me, is now behind us again. And Error leaves the race. Something happened to Error again. He did an absolutely great drive considering the car he was in, and it's a shame that he didn't get to finish the race. But now we've got another issue on our hands here. He's not the driver in front that we have to catch. We have to worry about the driver behind us in the Toyota Supra, where we had a couple of comings together early in the race. And in this situation, I was just like, okay, listen, you can get past me. There's no issue. I'm still fighting for a decent podium position here. And yeah, let's just bring it home. But as we go into this fast left-hander, I get absolutely hit from behind as the driver doesn't even slow down to acknowledge my position on track. And he just drives off, and we get front and right wheel damage. And yeah, honestly, I was not happy, not at all amused by that. And my race is basically over now. I'm not going to be fighting for a podium anymore, and it's all now about focusing on trying to bring it home because
no more grip in the front end.
As we see, no grip in the front end, and pay attention to this delta right now. Because we got this damage, we're going to be on the straights for longer, which means we're going to use more fuel, which means we have to fuel save even more and go slower even more. As I also said, yeah, Tripo, I was very dissatisfied with his driving standards, considering it was a pretty straightforward move if he just waited going into the right-hand hairpin just after that fast left-hander, but to each their own, you know. And as you can see, we lost around about 1.5 seconds on that one short straight.
No matter how hard I try now, and McLaren's going to shoot past us on the straight.
Yeah, exactly. And at this moment, I'm pushing like crazy to try and stay ahead of him, but to no avail. We have no grip compared to him. As you can see, we're going wide, and we're trying to scrub the tires as much as possible to get them to turn in, but it just isn't working. and it's just a matter of time when Iceman gets past us, and not if, but when, because we are about now 10 to 15 seconds a lap slower with this damage, as we're on heavy damage, by the way, not light damage like we usually were in Gran Turismo, and we go wide, going into the left-hander, and we try to carry the normal amount of speed into that corner.
Thanks, Triple. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I'm still talking about it. Yeah, I was not very happy with it because, generally speaking, I expected also in an Expedition series that people be a little bit more relaxed because it's just an Expedition series, but maybe not to this driver. But as we fast forward now onto the end of the Nurburgring GP loop, we let Kai past us because there's actually no point of racing him, and we let him past as there was a yellow flag. So I was nervous that I could have given him a 3-second penalty there for overtaking under yellows.
Penalty for overtaking me.
And as I said there, I was very nervous about that.
That would have been horrible.
But as you can see, we already got 14% of fuel, which is not ideal. Usually we're on like 16-17% of fuel going into the Nordschleife loop. So we need to do a lot of fuel saving. I only realized this probably 3 minutes into this lap. We're on 12% fuel. So we've got a decent gap to P7, but P6 Luna will get past us.
So we're guaranteed the top 6, I think.
Yeah, so we're guaranteed the top 6, but it's not looking good at this moment because fuel is so important. And yeah, at this moment, Luna led us through early in the race, and I did the same to them because honestly, I didn't want to hold them up. They did an absolute real one for me early in the race, and I just wanted to repay the favor. So we got a 17-second gap. You would seem to think that was a decent gap, but as we fast forward all the way to the end of the Nordschleife now, going onto the Dottinger, we have lost almost 8 seconds of time, and it's only a 9-second gap now to TPC, the postman behind us. And we're on 2% fuel going onto the main straight, and as you can see, we are short shifting this BMW M6 a lot just to try and make it to the end. And yeah, we got to fuel mode 6, which I don't recommend using 99% of the time. But as you can see, we go back down to fuel mode 1 just to get up to speed, and then back to fuel mode 6 to save as much fuel as possible. And it is not looking good. We're on 1% fuel, 0.0 laps remaining of fuel, and we're losing hand over fist of time to the driver behind us. We're losing a 10th every click. So this is not looking good, but Kai!
What?
Kai ran out of fuel. Absolutely insane scenes as we're coasting into the next corner right now, trying to save as much fuel as possible. I probably should not have gone back to fuel mode 1 because I had enough gap and margin behind us. And are we going to run out of fuel on the line? It's going to be close. There's only 2 seconds in it. And we run out of fuel going onto the line.
Come on!
And it's going to be close. It's going to be close. And we just crossed the line ahead of him in P5. And
what a race.
I'll leave you guys with my reaction. And thank you for watching, everyone. And I'll see you guys in the next video sometime soon.
Oh, my word.
Ciao, ciao.
What a race, chat. GG's, guys. Top 5. We got top 5. We did get a top 5. Top 5, baby. GG's, everyone. Woo! What a race, dude. What a race, man. But not GG to triple. No GG to triple. No GG's to him, though. No. No GG's to him. Phew.